Tonight on Grady Newsource, we have the latest on Georgia elections from the surge in early voting and how to vote on November 3rd.
There are a number of factors which might prompt a person who doesn't usually bother to go and vote to get out and vote this year.
How the Georgia Foundation for Agriculture is working with Georgia schools to promote agricultural learning.
We wanted to create a way to kind of build a connection between local county farm bureaus, Georgia EMCs, and public libraries.
And where to sign up for an energy assistant program to help pay for your utility bills.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening, I'm Alex Joyce and welcome to Grady Newsource. Tonight, we will be taking a dive into the election coverage for Northeast Georgia. We will tell you about the increase in early voting, how to vote on November 3rd, and what makes this year different. But first, you have just 4 days to cast your ballot early in Georgia. Grady Newsource reporter Molly English tells us how many Northeast Georgians have gone to the polls early.
Are going to the polls in record numbers this election cycle. According to the Georgia Secretary of State's office, 1.85 million people have voted early in Georgia as of today at noon. That's much more than the 1.2 million who had already voted early around the same time in 2016. Northeast Georgia is no exception to this upward trend. In Athens, Clark, and Oconee counties, more than 11,000 people have voted early and in person so far, with Clark County seeing slightly more in-person voters than Oconee. Voters in Barrow and Jackson counties are really showing out, with a little more than 14,000 early votes. And Madison County has over 5,000 votes, while Oglethorpe County has 3,539 early votes cast. But why are so many people voting early this year? Well, according to Dr. Charles Bullock, a political science professor at the University of Georgia,
the interest in this election, the narrowness that Georgia is perceived to be in terms of tilting Democrat or Republican, and then we've got these two Senate races, so there are a number of factors which might prompt a person who doesn't usually bother to go and vote to get out and vote this year.
If you want to cast your vote early and haven't done so yet, you have until October 30th. Or the Friday before the general election on November 3rd. My name is Molly English with Grady Newsource.
If you're a voter who is choosing to vote on Election Day, there are a few things you should know. Grady Newsource reporter Alex Merritt gives us more.
If you're not sure where you can vote, you can do a couple of things. You can either call the Georgia Secretary of State's office at 404-656-2871, or you can go to your My Voter page that's located on the Secretary of State's website, and enter your information to find out where your polling location is. To find your My Voter page, just go on the Secretary of State's website, click on the Elections heading, and then find the Where Do I Vote tab under Quick Links. Now there's one thing you need to make sure you have before going to vote, and that's a photo ID. The Georgia Secretary of State's website lists 6 different acceptable forms of identification. You can either bring a state or federal government-issued photo ID, a Georgia driver's license, even if expired, a government employee photo ID, a U.S. passport, a U.S. military photo ID, and a tribal photo ID. If you can't provide an ID, you can obtain a free voter ID card from your county's registrar's office. To learn more on that, you can go to the Secretary of State's website or contact the Georgia Department of Driver Services. The biggest question on everyone's minds is how voting is going to work during the COVID-19 pandemic. When it comes to voting in person, an executive order signed by Governor Brian Kemp prohibits local governments from enforcing mask requirements at polling places. However, masks are encouraged. Absentee voting has been a popular choice among voters this election cycle. Even though early voting isn't over yet, the state has processed almost 1 million absentee ballot votes for the general election in November. If you requested an absentee ballot but decided to go vote in person, you need to make sure that ballot is canceled before you can vote regularly. To cancel an absentee ballot, you need to bring your ballot to the polling location and give it to the polling manager and have it canceled. If you haven't received your ballot, or you received it, filled it out, and sent it in, but the registrar's office hasn't received it yet, you can still cancel it by appearing in person before your county's registrar or absentee ballot clerk and making a formal request to have the ballot canceled. And if you encounter an issue while voting, and need to report a voting issue, you can call the Georgia Secretary of State's Voter Fraud Hotline at 877-725-9797. Alex Merritt, Grady Newsource.
With long lines in some counties, Oglethorpe County lines remain short. Newsource reporter Jack Sadegan reports on the new early voting location the county decided to use for this election.
According to Board of Elections Supervisor Steve McCannon, nearly 3,000 of 10,683 registered voters in Oglethorpe completed early in-person voting. McCannon said that was significantly more than the 2016 election to this point. When the county decided to move the polling place to the Board of Elections office off of Fairground Road to allow for social distancing, McCannon worried if it would be ready to move voters quickly like the old location on Boggs Street.
It was a tight schedule because they started this, I'm going to say, 2 months ago.
However, it's been mainly like this. No lines, quick voting, plenty of space. Oglethorpe resident Stephanie Westrich enjoys the new location more than the old one on Boggs Street.
The new one is better at the old location. You were kind of like in a U shape, and this one, it had like, there was almost double the space so that more people could be in there without feeling cramped.
With 4 more days of early in-person voting, McCannon expects more of the same.
Normally don't ever have over a 15-minute wait at all, and usually that's going to be the Friday before Election Day when everybody waits to the last day.
Reporting from Oglethorpe, Jack Sadegan, Grady Newsource.
The Barrow County Board of Commissioners will meet tomorrow to determine whether or not Families First Coronavirus Response Act will go under contract with the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission. The act provides funding for nutritional services that provides meals to older adults through home delivery and community center pickup. Since the COVID-19 outbreak, pickup meals have become less available. This is because community measures intending to stop the spread of the virus has resulted in the closure of meal sites. If this contract is approved, families will have easier access to meals because of an increase in funding and operations. The meeting will take place at the historic courthouse located at 30 North Broad Street in Winder, Georgia. Next Monday, applications will be open for a program that helps families in Northeast Georgia pay their energy bills. Grady Newsource reporter Jillian Tracy has more on the program benefits and how you can apply.
Cost of owning or renting a home is no small price tag, but it can often be easy to forget the additional cost of the home, including utilities like heat, air, electricity, and gas. In 2015, nearly 1/3 of U.S. households had trouble paying their energy bills or maintaining adequate heating and cooling within their home. This is according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. The 2021 Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program is an annual program funded by the federal government. Here in Northeast Georgia, residents can apply to the program through 9th District Opportunity, or NDO, a nonprofit community action group. A week from today, on November 2nd, the application will open to people 65 or older and those who are medically homebound due to health reasons. Residents can apply by calling 855-636-3108 or by going online to www.ndo.org/EAP. Natasha Carter, the IT and Program Support Specialist for NDO, says that after applying by phone or online, applicants will be given instructions on the next steps they need to take.
When they call in, it's an automated system, so they put in their information and it tells them what date, what time, and what documents to bring to their appointment. And then once they get there, we calculate their income based on their household size, and then we tell them if they're going to get $350 or $400.
Once an applicant has been approved, a one-time payment will be issued to their home heating supplier. The application will open to the general public on December 1st, and appointments will be made until all funds have been exhausted. For more information on if you may qualify and what documents you need to present, you can view this posting on NDO's Facebook page. Carter says that approved applicants will typically receive their payment within 6 to 8 weeks. For Grady Newsource, I'm Jillian Tracy.
Full of Beans, Henry Ford Grows a Car by Peggy Thomas is the American Farm Bureau Federation's 2020 Book of the Year. and over 400 copies are about to find a new home. Grady Newsource reporter Kate Hester has the story.
American icon Henry Ford was an innovator in more ways than one. Full of Beans, Henry Ford Grows a Car is a story about how Ford made one car almost completely out of soybeans. The GFA is donating over 400 copies of the children's book to public libraries across the state as an effort to improve agriculture literacy in the classroom and to form an agriculture learning connection within the counties.
We wanted to create a way to kind of build a connection between local county farm bureaus, Georgia EMCs, and public libraries.
Lily Balcom, the executive director of GFA, has been working hard to improve agriculture in the classroom. She said that most students are about 3 generations removed from a farm and do not understand the concept of where their food comes from. Dustin Landrum with the Georgia Public Library Service says that the donation to the libraries is priceless.
We're really grateful for these book donations from the Georgia Foundation for Agriculture, Georgia Farm Bureau, Georgia EMC. This year, we even took it a next step. There was some extra programming virtually alongside it. They had a virtual field trip to a soybean farm, and that was really neat.
This is the 3rd year the GFA has been able to donate the Farm Bureau's Book of the Year thanks to a donation from the Georgia EMC. Kate Hester, Grady Newsource.
Coming up after the break, a local Boys and Girls Club is encouraging people to do more than just vote on Election Day. Plus, how a recent UGA grad has the best seat in the House for the 2020 World Series.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
I'm ready for them. Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire? Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Boys and Girls Club of Jackson County is encouraging residents of the county and the surrounding areas to pick up a plate of food on Election Day in support of their nonprofit organization. Grady Newsource reporter Cheyenne Jones has the story.
The Boys and Girls Club of Jackson County is hosting an event called the Election Day Chicken Queue to raise money for their nonprofit organization and get people excited about the election. COVID-19 has impacted the organization by creating difficulty hosting certain events and causing a temporary shutdown after one of their kids, Stetson McGriff, caught the coronavirus.
He had the coronavirus. So I felt horrible. He was there previously the week before, so they had to close down and sanitize and stuff.
Stetson's mom, Alyssa McGriff, says her son has since recovered and could not wait to get back to their after-school program. The Boys and Girls Club has been around for 17 years, and their mission is to help children ages 6 to 18 with leadership and learning development. Chief Executive Officer Kendall Sims says their main goal is to help kids become better and offer a safe space for kids to explore.
Overall, Boys and Girls Clubs across the country is about being a positive place for kids, and that's what we strive to do here at Jackson County.
The Boys and Girls Club is continuing their efforts to raise money despite the pandemic. Normally, the club hosts 2 large annual events with around 200 to 400 people, but because of the virus, they have scaled back to smaller events and budgets. This past weekend, they raised just over their goal of $5,000 at their car and bike show raffle and plan to do the same on Election Day while bringing awareness to their mission statement.
Get people to know that Boys and Girls Clubs of Jackson County is right here, and that we're serving a lot of kids and we're doing a lot of great work.
The event will be held right across from the Jackson County Elections and Voter Registration Building. Hosting an outside event will help maintain social distance, and everyone is encouraged to secure a plate after they've secured their vote. More information about the event can be found out on the website, along with information on how to donate to the org. Grady Newsource, Cheyenne Jones.
A former UGA student is making a name for himself on the biggest stage in baseball. Grady Newsource reporter Jayla Norman has more.
In May 2020, Pete Gottschalk graduated from the University of Georgia with a degree in marketing. 5 months later, Gottschalk is now the man behind the camera at the 2020 World Series.
Never in my life did I ever think I would be able to work for MLB, right? Like, I never thought anyone in Major League Baseball would ever even acknowledge my work.
Gottschalk's official title for the MLB is a video content creator. He shoots footage at games, and the clips are posted online by the MLB or different MLB teams.
We're here. That's what the park looks like. Brand new trackable roof.
The MLB social media pages are filled with Gottschalk's work, ranging from a video of Cody Bellinger's Game 7 NCLS home run to Manny Machado's infamous bat throw heard around the world. Game 6 of the 2020 World Series will air tomorrow night, and as always, Gottschalk will be there to capture it all. Grady Newsource, Jayla Norman.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
And now, sports.
This past weekend may have been the Dogs' bye week, but there was no lack of football in Northeast Georgia. Starting off here in Clark County,
Clark Central beat Walnut Grove, making this their 4th straight win. The Oconee County Warriors stay undefeated after their win against Hart County. North Oconee broke their 2-game win streak with a 1-touchdown loss to Flowery Branch. In Oglethorpe County, they lost to Jefferson County despite having the home field advantage. The Jackson County Panthers routed Johnson with a score of 43-0, while East Jackson fell short against Monroe area. The Winder-Barrow Bulldogs scraped out a win against Shiloh. Appalachia High School and Madison County High School had their bye weeks, but face off in the regular season again this Saturday.
With only 4 weeks left in their regular season, here are the most recent records for our Northeast Georgia football teams. Covering sports in Northeast Georgia, Maddie McQueen, Grady Newsource.
I'm Jenna Maddox reporting here in this gloomy weather in Northeast Georgia today. Coming up, I'll have more on the forecast for the rest of this week. Stay tuned.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Is the seat supposed to be forward-facing or rear-facing? Did they move to a booster seat too soon? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Don't think you know. Know you know.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know? My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
It's a beautiful day out here, sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90-mile-per-hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it, let's go.
And now, the weather.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Jenna Maddox, and I'll be bringing you your Northeast Georgia weather. Today, we're going to be talking about this evening's forecast, tomorrow's forecast, and the 5-day forecast. Now, let's take a closer look at our evening planner in Athens for tonight. We're going to be at 69 degrees at 6 p.m., 64 at 9 p.m., and 62 at midnight. Partly cloudy skies. And the day planner in Athens for tomorrow, we're going to start out at 62 degrees at 9 a.m., 72 at noon, 77 at 3 p.m., with partly cloudy skies as well. And a quick look at our 5-day forecast. Today, Monday, high of 71 degrees. Our low is going to be 59 degrees. Tuesday, tomorrow, our high is going to be 77 with a low of 62. Wednesday, the clouds are going to start coming in with a high of 75 degrees and a low of 66. Thursday, the rain will be here. We're going to be at a high of 75 degrees and a low of 55. Friday, the sun will be back, but it's going to be a little bit chillier with a high of 67 degrees and a low of 46. Tropical storm Zeta is currently forming in the Gulf Coast. If you're thinking there's been quite an increase in hurricanes in 2020, you're right. There's still over a month left until the end of the calendar hurricane season, and 2020 has quickly crept up to the record-breaking season in 2005. Once the list of hurricane names runs out during a given year, the NOAA moves on to the Greek letter storm naming system. In 2005, Tropical Storm Zeta was the last to develop, forming at the end of December. In 2020, Tropical Storm Zeta is here in October. This is only the second time the Greek naming system has been used. The National Hurricane Center reports that September 2020 set a record for the most named storms forming in a month. The NOAA predicts that Tropical Storm Zeta will be at or near hurricane strength by Wednesday. The next Atlantic storm is set to be named Ada. Reporting in Athens, Jenna Maddox, Grady Newsource.
Hello. Hi. I'm from Blue Hood Stonebarns. We brought a meal for you, and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come on in.
Brochettes, the sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, you know, they're the end pieces of the zucchini, and then the cores that we cut away, not to mention zucchini flour. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that... Oh.
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta, a different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Laughing too hard at one of your colleagues' jokes at the office party? He's not even funny. Warning sign. Those drinks are probably going to your head. Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Some Barrow County residents attended the first drag show in their county on Saturday in Winder. Grady Newsource reporter Melissa Guh has the story.
A Winder Steakhouse and Bar offered a new way for Barrow County residents to celebrate Halloween this year. On Saturday, Speakeasy at Latin Flavors hosted the first drag show in Barrow County. Candy Shaw Landsberg and her husband, Danny Landsberg, produced the show. Candy also performed while Danny acted as the MC. Candy said the event was first discussed back in July, at a gathering at her house when her friends from Latin Flavors suggested the drag community should perform at their venue because they wanted to bring more diverse entertainment to the community. The show involved lip-singing with a costume contest in the middle. The staff were required to wear masks the entire night, while the performers had the choice to wear masks or not. Guests did not have to wear masks so they could consume food and beverages. The show sold out quickly because the capacity limit was 75 patrons. There has been some community backlash in the closed Facebook group Rants and Raves of Barrow County, which has 6,100 members, but Candy said she wasn't deterred.
When it comes down to drag, you know, everything that we put on our bodies is just stuff, and you know, and it's your decision on what you believe for your body that you want to put on it.
Valerie Richardson, who was in the audience, said she hopes this will lead to more open-mindedness in her community.
I just think that Wonder just needs to have an open mind. You know, not everything that's done is done to be detrimental.
Candy said she hopes to be able to perform at other venues in Barrow County in the future. Richardson hopes the same. Melissa Guh, Grady Newsource.
Thank you for watching. Good night.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How do you not love him?